Well, we just went on a little drive after we got this exhaust done and on here, and started hearing a little bit of chatter. It was kind of weird. I started it up when I first did the startup on video. It started up, it was quiet, and everything was all right. I got it up to temperature or whatever, made a couple revs, shut it back down. I started up when Dad got home, and I noticed it started to chatter a little bit more. I was like, well, maybe it's just me not being used to hearing it because the exhaust is now down low and everything like that. And I was making sure there's no exhaust rattling or anything. I took it for a little drive, and I got under a little boost, whatever, came back, and it's still chattering quite a bit, and I think it's getting a little worse. But I went ahead and checked my oil pressure gauge. Nope, I don't have one of those. So I did the next best thing and pulled the feed lines off, and there's no oil coming to the turbos, so most likely we don't have oil anywhere. I have an F-body oil pan on here, and that's a truck dipstick, and right now it's showing it's about 2 inches over full, which when I first put it in there, I put like 6 or 7 quarts in there. They're supposed to take 6. Some people say overfill them 7. But we did have a little bit of an oil leak issue, and I have yet to put oil back in it. So I'm going to put about a gallon or a couple quarts of oil in it, see if oil pressure magically comes back. If it does, it was just low on oil. If not, I think the pickup tube O-ring is going to be shot, because that oil pump is a pretty decent oil pump. So might have to pull the timing cover off this thing tonight, but we'll see. So keep you guys in the loop, get you a little time lapse. Not something I really wanted to do, but it's kind of easy-ish, I guess to say. So, and I want to take it to a car show tomorrow, so we'll see how long I want to thrash. It's about 9 o'clock right now, so see how I could probably do it by tomorrow. The car show's not till 10, but we'll see. Just like that, we got the oil pan dropped down a little bit to get the pickup tube bolt out. Pulled the O-ring out. The O-ring didn't look terrible. This is the old pump. It's an LS3 pump that was out of my girlfriend's car. Probably had 80,000 miles on it. Now it's probably got 80,200 miles on it maybe. There was a blue O-ring that I put in there, but come to find out, if you buy a new oil pump, you only get a black or green one. So that blue one is probably a reused O-ring. So I'm probably going to bank on that the O-ring is bad. But a buddy of mine had a brand new Melling 10296 or whatever the number is. I think it's a 10296. But it's a high pressure, high volume pump that he had sitting in the box, just sitting there at his house. So I ran up and grabbed it real quick. And this didn't take us long. I mean, it's 11 o'clock right now. I started this at 9. I took it apart. I discovered that. I inspected the old oil pump. I mean, it's a little marred up. It doesn't look like it's horrible. It looks like it's just got some miles on it. But I already ran to town and back and got the new oil pump, so I'm going to try to stick it back in. I drained the oil out of it, and there is a little metal in it, but honestly, it doesn't look any worse than like if you were to build a fresh engine and break it in. So it's probably fine. Took a couple thousand miles off the motor, but I'd probably be able to just fill it with some 1540 and be just fine. So we're going to see what happens here. The only thing, I mean, the turbos, they didn't have oil for a little bit, but I think they'll be all right. Probably, maybe. We'll find out. But hopefully I can put this new oil pump on, a brand new Melling oil pump, get some oil pressure by the end of the night here before I call it a night, and maybe we'll go to a car show tomorrow. So we'll see. Those 2 puddles down there are from the feed lines. So we got oil pressure again. I'm going to have to go with the oil pump, most likely, since the O-ring was still fine. I'm going to say the oil pump most likely probably took a shit. Either that or that O-ring. The O-ring had no tears, no nothing. So I'm quite positive that oil pump just decided to say see you later or something dumb. Luckily I caught it when it did. I didn't sound very noisy when we started it a second ago. So maybe we can get by. I'm going to do an oil change on it. Of course, I already drained the oil out of it. There was a little metal, nothing serious, honestly. But I think we'll be fine. Probably just change filters and stuff, put new oil in it tomorrow, flush it out, see how it sounds. If it is a little loud, maybe we'll get some of that honeydew stuff that ViceScript Garage uses. He calls it honey. Mix it in there, and if it works, it works. It's probably going to be fine, honestly. So we'll see how it goes. But we got oil pressure. We're getting somewhere. And by the way, it's only midnight, so we figured out we didn't have oil pressure at like 8. Started messing with it around 9, and by midnight we got oil pressure. That's pretty good. I mean, we had the whole front of the engine apart. It's already put back together, besides some coolant and a belt and the charge pipe tube. I guess we're good. So I'm gonna put that together. I'm gonna start it up, make sure for sure we got oil pressure again, just to double check. I know everybody's like, why don't you have a gauge on it? To be honest, I tried to put a gauge on it, but I didn't have the right adapters, and I just haven't messed with it. And you can tell pretty quick when you don't have oil pressure. So, and it's a freaking $500 5.3. I mean, I know I don't have all the money in the world, but it's a $500 5.3. It's probably gonna have oil pressure. It should anyways, maybe. But maybe we can drive it tomorrow.